The film opens with a couple, Mike and Kate, entering a stark, sterile chamber known as the Immaculate Room. At the center, they notice a glowing red button, and after pressing it, a massive 50-day countdown timer appears on the wall. A cold, mechanical AI voice greets them, announcing that they are now participants in an experiment. Their task is clear: survive 50 days of complete isolation inside this room together. If they endure the entire duration, they will walk away with a reward of $5 million. But if either of them decides to leave before the experiment ends, the prize money will instantly drop to just $1 million. Contact with the outside world is forbidden, and no one may enter or exit until the trial is over. At first, the couple treats the situation lightly, running around the room playfully like children still deeply in love. Kate suggests that they should split the prize fairly if they succeed. Mike, however, shares his dream. He wants to use the money to pursue his passion for art and open an exhibition. Their optimism carries them through the first hours as they explore every corner of the chamber. Soon, the AI reminds them of the rules. They cannot use the bathroom together, and their only source of food will be tasteless, odorless liquid meals prepared for the experiment. To Kate, this feels like the experiment's real purpose: to strip away all comfort and distraction. They reluctantly sip from a bland bottle of liquid food delivered for their first lunch. That night, they discover that the lights automatically shut off at a strict time and turn on each morning. In the dark, Mike tries to grow intimate with Kate, but she resists, nervous that Professor Vun, the mysterious mind behind the experiment, may be observing them through hidden cameras. To steady herself, Kate performs her routine of positive affirmations before bed and after using the bathroom, a habit that grounds her. The next day, they throw away their old clothes after showering and put on fresh ones supplied by the room. They laugh at the strangeness of their bland dinner, yet the tension remains. Kate asks Mike what he thinks the purpose of all this really is. Mike recalls Professor Vun's disturbing documentary, Fame, which chronicled a similar experiment that ended disastrously for the family involved. Kate finds the professor's methods twisted, but Mike explains that Vun is consumed by his obsession with human behavior and the extremes of isolation. As time passes, Mike begins to grow restless under the relentless ticking of the timer, while Kate tries to maintain calm through meditation and strict routines. The silence stretches into something oppressive, pressing on Mike more each night. His frustration simmers, while Kate still manages to endure. One day, Mike discovers a small insect crawling in the Immaculate Room. He tries to feed it, watching it intently, but the insect shows no interest. Mike wishes he could release it outside, but doing so would disqualify him. Kate tells him to forget about it, but this sparks their very first argument. Later, while brushing his teeth, Mike announces that he wants to request a treat. According to the rules, they can ask for a treat anytime, but each one deducts $100,000 from their prize. Kate strongly objects, but Mike, already consumed by boredom, insists. He presses for it and soon receives his treat, a simple green crayon. As an artist, he is overjoyed. He begins to cover the white walls with his drawings, scribbling out his inner world. Kate asks him to sketch her portrait, but Mike refuses to draw her freely, which ignites another spat. Later, however, Kate apologizes and the tension eases. The following morning, a chilling discovery unsettles them both: a revolver sitting in the bathroom. Neither of them requested it, which means it was deliberately planted. Uneasy, they agree the gun is a psychological trap designed to test their nerves. Kate insists they must get rid of it, but the rules forbid them from storing items outside the room. In the end, they shove it under the bed, its presence like a shadow hanging over them. Not long after, they receive a surprise video message from their families. First, Mike's sister appears, cheerful and excited, expressing how much she misses him and can't wait to see him again. Then comes Kate's turn. Her father's face fills the screen, delivering gentle encouragement and words of pride. To Mike's surprise, Kate panics, covering her ears, yet the video keeps playing. Her father mentions he was surprised to be contacted for the recording, making Kate collapse into the corner, weeping. Confused, Mike goes to comfort her. The next morning, Mike finds Kate still shaken. Finally, she confesses she lied about her father. He had been an alcoholic who destroyed her childhood, leaving her with scars of shame and trauma. Seeing him again had ripped open old wounds she thought were buried. As days continue, the atmosphere grows heavier. Mike's mind begins to fray. With 19 days left, paranoia creeps into him, while Kate clings desperately to her rituals of calm. Mike urges her to request a treat to lift her spirits, but she refuses. Instead, she encourages him to request another, since he is clearly unraveling. Mike finally gives in, pressing for a new treat as he fights to keep control of himself. Meanwhile, Kate retreats to the bathroom, the sterile silence closing in around them and the experiment pressing ever deeper into their minds. Unexpectedly, a woman named Simone drifts into the room as a new treat. The experiment supervisors had summoned her, and she herself barely knew the truth, only that she would be paid. Seeing Simone, Mike stiffens, his voice uneasy as he blurts out that he only asked for a treat, not a woman. Simone introduces herself as an actress, claiming she has been given the chance to stay with them and improvise in this role. Mike and Kate retreat to the bed to whisper about it, while Simone studies the crude sketches on the wall with unsettling interest. Mike swears that Kate is the only woman he wants and insists this must be another cruel trick by the unseen controllers to unnerve them. As they argue, the lights suddenly cut to black, forcing them into the same bed, pressed close together with Simone in the dark. The next morning, Kate's unease deepens when she sees Mike and Simone chatting too comfortably on the bed. Driven by suspicion, she requests a treat for herself. What she receives is ecstasy, which she nervously shares with Mike and Simone. The three spiral into a powerful acid trip as the drug takes hold. Mike's visions turn nightmarish. He is sinking into a black, endless ocean, where a ghostly little boy stares at him from the abyss. Gasping awake, he finds it was only a hallucination, shaken as Kate and Simone jolt him back. Later, Simone and Kate speak quietly while Mike lies back down. Kate begins to understand that Mike is still shackled to the horror of his brother Sean's drowning, a death that happened while Mike was intoxicated, leaving him consumed with guilt. That night, Mike cannot sleep. He wanders to the bathroom, his footsteps echoing unnaturally in the sterile silence. Returning, he finds Simone awake as well. He sits beside her, confiding in a whisper about Sean. Simone responds with a chillingly similar story. After a bitter argument with her mother died in a sudden accident days later. They hold hands as Mike breaks down, his sobs echoing in the white void, while Simone quietly comforts him. Suddenly, Kate appears in the doorway, her voice sharp with accusation. She lashes out at Simone for trying to seduce Mike. Simone's tone hardens. She claims Mike needs someone else to share his grief with. The two women's words spiral into a hostile clash until Mike, trembling with anger, orders them both to stop before storming away. The next morning, Kate looks around the blank room and realizes Simone has vanished. Relief seeps in until she notices words scrawled on the wall, a love note Simone had left for Mike. Fury consumes her. She confronts him, hurling accusations of betrayal, though he denies everything. Blinded by rage, Kate shoves him. He slams against the wall, leaving a bloody mark. Kate panics, kneeling to tend to him, but Mike snaps, accusing her of never caring and only enduring the experiment for the money. She spits back that it's easy for him to say, since he was born into wealth. Shattered by the fight, Mike finally chooses to leave, even as Kate waves the pistol in desperation. The moment he steps out, the prize money collapses to $1 million. Kate is left alone in the blinding, spotless room, where silence itself becomes a torment. Days crawl by. 2 nights before the experiment ends, she drifts toward the red button, her hand trembling, but the screen cuts to black before it reveals her choice. Sometime later, Mike is shown running along a quiet street in the early morning. He suddenly collides with Kate, the first time they've met since the experiment. She has just stepped out of St. Mary's care facility after visiting her father. Shocked, Mike asks whether she ever received the prize money. Kate gives no answer. Instead, she asks after Mike's sister, her tone almost ghost-like. The camera then turns to St. Mary's, where a sign hangs, "Thank you to our anonymous donor for helping us build a new kitchen." The implication is clear. Kate completed the experiment and used the money as she once vowed in the Immaculate Room. The film ends with another couple entering the Immaculate White Chamber, their faces lit with nervous excitement. The door seals shut. The cycle begins again.